Yes, yes, Sir Hairless here. This will be our second time hearing Putri Ariani. Our first time was her America's Got Talent audition. She got the golden buzzer, so that sent her straight through to the qualifying rounds. In this performance, which is also from America's Got Talent, she will be singing U2's song, I Still Haven't Found What I'm Looking For. I have done a video on this song once before, another cover version that was a cappella though, so quite different. So I think let's just get straight into this one and see what Putri does with this very, very famous song. And finally, just in case anyone isn't aware, she is blind.
I am blind, highest mountains.
Fully a
I
cappella.
have run through the fields only to be with you, only to be with you, but I still haven't found what I'm looking for. I believe in the
I mean, that's quite gripping, isn't it? I'm really not sure how I feel about the crowd cheering. I know it's what people do, show support and everything, but something like that, I don't think anyone would have been expecting that. How far? That's over a minute we've been listening of pure a cappella singing. The a cappella nature of it being made even more obvious because it's only one voice as well. Really interesting take. Very risky take, but I think it's paid off. Imagine that, just your voice, live TV being viewed by millions, your future on the show, of course, depending on this as well. If you're a nervous performer and you're singing and playing an instrument, it won't be in your instrumental playing where the nerves will come through. It will be through the voice. It's much easier to hear little shakes or unintentional wobbles. So fair play to that opening. I can only imagine how nerve-wracking that must have been. Was not expecting that. Very welcome surprise. Let's carry on.
I believe in the kingdom come, then all the colors will bleed into one, bleed into one. But yes, I'm still running. You broke the bonds and you lose your chains, carried the cross and my shame, oh my shame. You know I believe it, but I still haven't found what I'm looking for. But I still haven't found what I'm looking for.
I wanted to just go back a second there. These performances are usually kept under a certain amount of time. It looks like there's under a minute left. Oh, sorry, I just sneezed. I think my eyes might be a bit puffy. But I was going to say, I think we should just go through to the end and discuss it afterwards. Before I forget though, one, amazing dress she has on. Look at that.
Haven't found
All over the floor as well, wow. And the second thing, I found this super interesting. Watch her hand here, her right hand.
what I'm looking for.
That movement there, it's almost like a mathematical calculation. Again, in case you're not aware, and I did mention this in the introduction, but I know not everyone watches the introductions, Putri is blind. She's a blind pianist, which is quite remarkable. One benefit of having vision and playing piano is you can look at the keys. A lot of people, myself included, find one of the most difficult things about sight reading keeping your eyes on the music. It's so tempting to just look down and make sure your hand is placed correctly, especially if you're doing a jump or something like that. So I find this super interesting.
I'm looking for.
The movement, almost like a spider. No, I don't want to use the word spider. It looks very elegant though, doesn't it? Really cool. Almost like she's calculating where the hand will be before playing this higher up phrase. Very delicate. All right, let's carry on until the end.
You haven't found what I'm looking for. But I still haven't found what I'm looking for.
Simon's up.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I'd kind of forgotten about that unique element to her voice. The sheer power with the chest voice rising up there, the blended voice. There was one phrase, super powerful either side, a little bit of a shaky bit in the middle. So it was kind of like this roller coaster of emotions as we were listening to it. Overall, I'm wondering if I should watch the judges' comments now or give my thoughts first, then watch theirs at the end. No, let's watch theirs now. They usually don't get too technical with it, so let's have a listen to see what they say about this.
Putri, I'm actually kind of speechless right now. Look, you know what? What I was thinking was, first of all, what a beautiful voice you've got. What a beautiful version. And honestly, Putri, this is why I still do this job, for moments like this, genuinely. Because that was so beautiful, and I do want to thank you too, because, you know, they don't clear their songs, because I understand there's a lot.
I was thinking this, U2, they're a bit of a strange one when it comes to copyright and licensing, all that kind of thing. There was that case some years ago where their album suddenly appeared on everyone's iTunes, if I remember correctly. And with these live shows, you'd think that they would have to get all the permissions to perform these live songs. Another incredible singer we've seen before, we've done videos on, Gabriel Henrique, also on America's Got Talent. In the knockout stages, he was apparently asked or forced to sing a song, not one that he wanted to sing, and maybe that was to his detriment. So yeah, I did wonder that about U2. Let's see what Simon's saying here.
I understand there's a lot of bands don't clear their songs, but they cleared this song for Putri to sing because they saw her audition and they knew how much this would mean to her. And I cannot thank you enough, because I think you've just hopefully changed this girl's life.
Thank you so much.
Sophia.
So Bono approves of Putri.
I don't think I've ever heard something more beautiful in my life.
Thank you so much.
That was spectacular. Every note, the feeling, what you were like, I mean, making us feel, it was amazing. One of my favorite songs of all time.
Interesting description. The note to the feeling, what you were making us feel. It must be difficult. You only have one chance, right, to do this live. Let me know if you've ever been to one of these shows. America's Got Talent, Britain's Got Talent, any other country's got talent, and seen them live. I always wonder how much editing is done, or I'll stop myself actually, because these are the live performances, aren't they? The knockout stages. It's the auditions that aren't broadcast live on TV.
I think this was the perfect act.
Heidi.
You sounded so beautiful, and I thought to myself, this is probably what it sounds like when an angel is singing. Literally. So beautiful.
Oh, that's where the video stopped. All right. Very high praise from the judges, and as we saw, U2 themselves gave Putri approval. So let's go back over what we heard. There's not too much to say for the first minute, because as we saw, it was a cappella. I find a cappella, when it's one person singing, very interesting. And that's because if you've seen my videos before, you'll know that I believe harmony is the most important thing when it comes to music. You change the harmony of a song, it will be a completely different song. You can change the singer or the instrumentalists. Yeah, they can make a significant difference, but it's really the harmony, the chords, the order in which they come that I think really has a huge impact, if not the biggest impact on music. Harmony intrinsically is how the notes work together. Here's a note. You add in another note. Then you add in another note. Oh, we have a C major chord. Let's just change this one note. Oh, now it's an A minor chord. Let's move this top note down here. It's still an A minor chord, but it just sounds a bit different. Let's add in this one. Now it's suddenly an F major 7, and F is this note on the top. So you get my point. Subtle changes can really drastically change harmony. When you have one person singing, there are no other notes. If you don't know this song, if you have not heard I Still Haven't Found What I'm Looking For by U2 before, you have no preconceptions of the song, and therefore you will almost make up the harmony in your head. If you do know the song, then you will know how it should sound, where the melody fits in. Your brain will be adding in the harmony in the background. So, first things first. So the key is B flat major. She's singing in a different key to the original song. The original song. C sharp or D flat major. That D flat is higher than Putri's B flat. You'd think because she's a girl and Bono is a guy, that Bono would actually be singing lower. So if we move his D flat down the octave, but he's actually singing higher, or Putri is singing lower, which is quite interesting. And because it's just her voice, she's not bound rhythmically to any percussion or any other instruments. She has complete control over the speed, the rhythm that she's going to sing. This is called tempo rubato, literally meaning in robbed time. Speed up as you want, slow down when you want. She's in complete control. I mentioned before I'm a bit conflicted about the cheering from the audience, but it shows that they are engaged, I guess. I'm certainly engaged because with songs, you just don't often hear something that's so reduced. It really grabs our attention. A great showcase for her vibrato and her vocal control. Starting that note straight tone, then the vibrato comes in and lifts up the pitch a little bit. We see that later on, especially with the more powerful notes where she's belting. She starts off with a straight tone, a tiny bit under, vibrato comes through and lifts up everything. Quite vibrato heavy, quite an airy voice. Quite gripping, to say the least.
But I still
Straight tone, vibrato moves up. Nice.
What I'm looking for.
Very distinct break between her chest voice and then the airy head voice. Then the piano comes in.
I believe.
She's perfectly in tune. And believe it or not, that's actually much more difficult than you might think. When you're singing just by yourself, and especially something like this where she's doing big gaps in between each phrase, it's scarily easy to fall under the pitch or over. But the point is, it's easy to go a bit out of tune. So then when the instruments come in, which of course are tuned, if you've gone a bit flat or a bit sharp, then it will tell. She's perfectly in tune. For any choir folk out there, one of Cambridge's choirs, King's College, every year they do a Christmas carol service. And the carol, once in Royal David City, will always start off with one chorister singing, just like Putri, completely unaccompanied.
Once in Royal David.
For the whole first verse. Then everyone else comes in, including the organ. That's in tune, they're one of the best in the world. But there are many cases where other choirs might sing this, and that first chorister has gone significantly flat, and then everyone else comes in and it's in a different key and it's a bit, ooh. Sorry, I digress.
Even the kingdom come.
Still very reduced, just one chord, and the rest of the phrase is just her words.
All the colors will bleed into one.
No chord change until there, which is actually a different chord progression to the original song.
Bleed into one.
Ah, now we're at the same chord progression, still chordal,
Yes, I'm still running.
but the chord there we have in there. So the chord is a B flat chord, but we hear this note, the second note, called the supertonic. What does this mean? Well, it's not a standard chord, basically. This is a standard chord. You add in that second note and it makes it a bit funky. Non-standard, which is a good thing to do when the arrangement is simple and chordal like it is at this moment. If you're not having rhythmic variety or excitement, then you can get some excitement in the harmony, in the notes we're hearing. Then the power comes through.
Carry the cross and march.
Drone in the left hand in the piano. Dum, dum, dum. Giving some rhythmic variety now, but the harmonic variety still isn't too great. I also forgot to say how the original song opens. How different is that to Putri's opening? Couldn't be more different. Instrumental, vocal, rhythmic, in harmony, one voice by itself. If you enjoy these videos or find them helpful, please consider supporting me. Patreon has a bunch of exclusive benefits, behind the scenes videos, additional reaction content, Q&A videos, and more. For a one-time donation, you can donate me a hot chocolate at the Buy Me a Coffee link, or become a YouTube member for these groovy emojis and membership badges. And a huge thank you to these lovely people on the screen now. Anyway, let's move forward a bit. Now we do get a bit more of a rhythmic piano part.
What I'm looking for.
Some nice doubling up of the melody there in the right hand.
But I
There's that tempo rubato we're talking about. If things were strict rhythm, she would then move. But no, she pauses. And that's the phrase I was talking about earlier. Power at the start, power at the end. That little shaky note in the middle is interesting. I wonder what happened there. Was she second guessing maybe which voice type to sing with? Ooh, do I sing with a blended voice, head voice? I don't think it matters. It's not too noticeable. And then that power again, straight afterwards. Simon's face. And the rest of the performance, very reduced like the beginning. Slightly under the true pitch on that penultimate note, which really exaggerates the slide down. I like that stylistic choice personally for the last note. Finish the song with a metaphorical bang, if you will. And I was kind of half expecting a piano chord, but that would be too predictable. This is a very unpredictable performance, as we've seen for so many reasons. Yeah, I think that was really cool. I really liked how it was, well, just unpredictable. She could have just gone in all guns blazing, very rhythmic piano, a lot of belting, but no, the arrangement was almost over reduced. The whole first minute, just her without any piano. Like I said, it's a very bold move to make, but I think it paid off. I think it grabbed the audience's attention. No one realistically could or should have been expecting that. And what's the result? Well, you could hear a pin dropping by the end of that, couldn't you? Let me know in the comments if you preferred this one or her first Golden Buzzer performance, in which she performed 2 songs. If you'd like to see my video on that one, then please feel free to check that out. As always, thank you very much for watching. Would appreciate a like, subscribe if you haven't, and I will see you next time.